Pay attention. Take one. We've discussed it before, why they say that. Because it's your most valuable currency. You must pay, and you don't want to pay. None of us want to pay. I have heard you have to pay, you should pay with joy. And I do, giving thanks in whatever ways are possible. But why is it so important? Why do most of us not like being told to pay attention? Most of us have to work in some way. We may enjoy our work. Sometimes you want to do other things. And maybe if you didn't have work, you wouldn't want to do those other things. I get it. I'm mixing concrete today. Enjoying it. I love mixing concrete by hand, one 80-pound bag at a time. 80% preparation, like a puzzle, and like a cake. And we think we know what we'd rather do. We'd rather watch YouTube. For some, maybe gardening. And for some, skydiving. Point to some extremes. But what do you really want? Sorry. I think that's why it bothers us. We know what we don't want. The things that others want us to do, things that are acceptable. And I think it's the biggest question. Everything else is a waste of time until you know what you want. Why else have you come here? Some people think this life doesn't matter. As long as they take the knee, everything will be fine in the afterlife. And that's fine. That's all you want in this life, is the afterlife. But otherwise, for the rest of us, getting clear on what we want is why attention is deemed as a payment. Because if we could use our attention to first determine what that is, and finally to achieve or attain whatever that is, individually or collectively, we would all experience much more joy, in my opinion. Enough ranting. Today we're going to look at a few different things. I thank you for being here. I love you all. God bless and welcome. Okay, here we are. I love spontaneity, thank God for it. I had a structure for today's video and have thrown it out, and I think that's applicable to everything. But here I want to start off the Ritz-Carlton. Here we are looking at fine state of California, and here we go. The Ritz, you can see there's a lot of activity. Sorry, my squeaking chair. To the north here, we see a lot of World's Fair stuff, a lot of star forts. But anyway, just south of here, by the Half Moon Bay, a very popular surf spot, we have the Ritz-Carlton Hotel and Golf Course. Let's zoom in a little more. We've discussed this years ago, but some supporting evidence, or I should say the removing of it, has just been revealed. Sounded weird. So here we go. The Ritz Hotel, Golf Course, and down here, it has been scrubbed by now. You'll have to watch my older videos to see what was here. I wonder if we can go back in time. Let's see real quick. How about back in time? No, they have scrubbed all the images going back to forever. There we are. That's the reality we live in. Oh, I swore I saw something there. No, you saw nothing. And we can actually faintly see it. They've just blurred it out. It's here, but it would be completely unrecognizable now. Video should be called Hiding Evidence. Doesn't look like anything significant. With all the modern technology, we can't get a good look at the coastline. And it shows that somebody is watching these videos, for better or for worse. Maybe I could flash some drone footage that others have taken. And essentially what we had is some columns sticking out on the sides of the cliff here. Some columns in ruins. And again, in past videos I've shown a lot of these images, even shown video footage of them demolishing some of it, but some remained, and it was viewable on this fine site until now. And this is essentially what it was. We see columns fusing into the cliffside, as if formed at the same time as the cliff, having a feel as if parts of it are natural, so beautifully integrated into the cliff. And it continues. You can see it to the right here in the corner. Let me zoom in. Here we go. Under the moon, another column, and it continues. Again, thank you for everyone who did boots on the ground out here. I mean, it's settled, I think, in our community. This is a great case. And yet, we have another confirmation from the dark side. This was a good case, because now this case can never be discovered by anyone moving forward, unless you were part of this community, watching videos like mine and others. Somebody felt it was important to essentially silence this discovery. I've told you there was a point where everything was changing. It's been going on for years. As something is revealed, information disappears, people disappear. Here we can see a picture from above of essentially what we were dealing with. And at one point they had planted grass over it, out of sight, out of mind, and then portions began to collapse, revealing not just the structure, but under. You can see that this goes under the golf course. And we've discussed the purpose of golf courses over and over. But anyway, what am I getting at? I mean, that should be enough. This video thus far should get millions of views, but I expect no such thing. So let me get to the point. Let's zoom out here. Good old California. Let's reorient ourselves. And we had this spot down here by Los Angeles, and I've been looking at this for even longer than I've been making videos on YouTube. This was absolutely fascinating. In fact, I saw this before I ever again got into this research the way I understand it today, and certainly before I ever looked at the Ritz-Carlton. And here you were able to view this for years, and I thought you still could, off the coast of Los Angeles. The Sycamore Knoll. And this was actually sent to me, and I was informed that it had just been wiped off of Google Earth. And what does this look like? Well, it absolutely looks like more of what we were just looking at the Ritz. Boom. Columns. A city, essentially. Flooded out. Looks like mud has spilt into the ocean, covering parts of it, but parts are revealed, just like we saw above at the Ritz. And of course it would be. The ocean waves may have pushed a little area clear based on the tides or whatnot. So let's have a look and see for ourselves. Is it true? Has this really now been wiped off the map, as they say? Let's take a quick pause. Okay, I had to find it again, since it's gone. Unfindable, like the ruins at the Ritz. And here's some website, some tech website, on April of 2025. Very recent. And they discuss the underwater structure known as the Sycamore Knoll. It sits between Malibu and Catalina Island. It's located 2,000 feet beneath the surface. 2,000 feet, a clue to the water level for the previous civilization. It's believed to be between 2.5 to 3 miles wide. And if you're interested, here are the coordinates. Take a screenshot and copy and paste, but it doesn't matter because it's gone. And not only is it gone, I mean, they could have just scrubbed it out, which they often do. I've seen just irregular black blobs over spots. What are we gonna do? Complain to somebody? And that's the problem, is everything significant now is in private hands. I don't think we have any rights. And if we rely on this one, we can expect to have things disappear. And not only has this disappeared, but everything has disappeared. That was part of this map function, is that you could see what was under parts of the ocean floor off the coast. And that is how they have gotten rid of this. They've actually gotten rid of the whole ocean. You can see here, it's just patches of nothing right up to the edge of the land. And if we go back in time, like we did at the Ritz, we see the same thing. They have taken it all the way back to the beginning, which is actually only 1985. George Orwell would say, "I told you so." And we could take it further, and perhaps I will, either in a bonus or in a future video. We could look at such maps as Yandex, who are also privately owned, but have a different agenda. Not necessarily benevolent, but just different. They will not try to cover up the same things. They won't have the same interests to do so. So let's take a pause and look at what I had planned on showing today. So I'm a pretty ordinary man. I enjoy the ordinary. Wealth for me is space and time. And really there is no time, just the moment. The world is so busy now. It seems it has been for at least 100 years. The American is a very industrious society and people. Work, 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 job, what do you do? Not what do you want to do. That would be interesting. Hi, my name's Bob. I'm Paul. What do you want to do? Oh, I don't know. I was heading to the post office. And that's about the extent of it. Personally, I dread going to the post office. The people are usually pleasant, at least where I live. It has a reputation of being unpleasant, but it's just really sterile. The decor, the lack of music, or some kind of pleasantry of any kind. All the customers are tense and awkward. Anyway, I thought we would go back in time. We would go to the post office in 18 whatever. This is a post office. Why so many stories? Why so beautiful, you might ask? There's an answer to this, and it's so clear that it doesn't even need mentioning why this is a post office. Look at the people down here. There's a traffic jam. I seldom see a horse and carriage traffic jam. This is busy. And we also see the trolley, 2 of them, electric, mind you. And they're actually pretty beautiful. But this building, back to this building. What? Post office? Where do you even go in? Where is the counter? Excuse me, sir. This person's backing up onto the curb. Really interesting time to be alive. Can I get a coffee here? Surely some merchant is selling coffee. I require a constant flow coffee. I guess I don't require it, just enjoy it. I've recently heard that it's high in magnesium and other difficult to obtain minerals. I love how we're made of dirt. But anyway, the post office and all this mud and these horses and there's water in the road. Some of the windows have curtains or shutters, some don't. Really feeling like a hotel, just a beautiful hotel. How much would you pay to stay at this hotel? God, today, dump of a hotel is at least $200 for a partial day and night. I don't even know if this was a hotel, but it looks more like a hotel than a post office. That's all. Bottom floor is buried halfway, a little more than half. This looks more like a terminal. You know what's interesting to remark that I've never mentioned is there's no ramp. Today I think it's to help facilitate those with disabilities. No go back then. Honestly, I did a video on asylums, and it wasn't just the insane that were put in asylums. It was like any problem. Like if you couldn't walk around and work, you're going in the asylum. That's it. That's how it was back then. We're certainly not going to build a stone ramp, but a stone ramp is ideal. I mean, if you had the money, build a building like this, I think stone ramp. And perhaps that was buried, and these stairs are an afterthought to access the building from the second floor. In my last video, we saw the opposite. They were accessing buildings from the basement, and there were no stairs going up to some of the front doors that were about 4 foot above the ground. So the post office. I thought we'd have a little look at some old post offices from the past. Yay, I really mean that. Let me ring the bell. I love the bell. I have several bells. I could ring another one for you guys. That one's more of a kind of Buddhist-y bell. And then I have a nice cooking pan that I strike that sounds just like a gong. But anyway, post office, St. Paul, Minnesota, 1905. Here we are. And it's not just the post office. I mean, whoever took this photograph in 1905, as we see down here, in St. Paul, Minnesota, was not thinking, I'm going to show some great evidence for the abandonment of this city in the future. No. He was just taking a damn picture of the post office. That's all. Castle post office. Nothing to see. Just documenting things, taking a picture. And what he reveals to us is an absolute abandonment of the city. We see a manhole cover down here. A manhole cover. Plumbing. Underground. And yet we see this building goes underground. Windows. Let me just say something right now pertaining to windows underground. I know people do it today, but they're just problematic. They fill up with leaves, flood with water. People do it because all cities have this mark, the mud flood mark, the burial of the building long after it was built. And what I want to say is this is so stupid. Right now I'm doing concrete, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video. And what am I doing? I'm basically pouring a little sidewalk, not as big as this, just about 12 inches around my whole house. And it slopes down so that when it rains, it pushes the water away from my house. There is no way in hell I would put a window at ground level. This would completely defeat the objective of moving the water away from the building, which is a need that all buildings have, at least for their longevity. But we can see here they have kind of like grates and afterthought. So this sidewalk, these streets, this manhole cover have all come long after the building was built. They have essentially laid plumbing and water infrastructure at ground level and backfilled around this whole city. I mean, an enormous feat for someone, and it wasn't done by these people. We can see a horse and wagon back here. Not with these means are you backfilling an entire city and paving and putting in water and sewer and quite possibly gas. So, St. Paul, Minnesota, cold, snowy Minnesota. Here we go. A real beauty, a castle. Next. Where are we? Look at this thing. How many domes? 1, 2, 3 that we can see. Probably 2 or 3 more on the other sides. I want to say 5 stories. I don't know. Are these halfers? Are these like John Malkovich levels? Anyway, where are we? Let's ask these people. Excuse me, I need to deliver this envelope? Oh yes, you're at the right place. This is the post office. Oh, dear God. Which door? All of them. Oh, which floor? Back then, a stamp or the mailing of a letter might have cost a penny. 1 penny. I think in my younger days, it might have been as little as 10 cents. 20, 30. What is it now? $1? Maybe it's still under $1. But this? What year is this? What city is this? Why these details? Why the urns like we see in San Francisco at the Palace of Fine Art? The urns. Sir. Don't bother me. Okay, where are we? Duluth. Again, Minnesota. Duluth, Minnesota Post Office. Wow. Same story here. Windows going down further. So much detail. So wasteful. Post office. Look at this castle back here. Castle skyscraper in the background. Unbelievable beauty here. Let's move on. Another castle. Another mud floater. Tech just hanging here. Really powered up here. Super infrastructure. And this is their post office. Here we go. Look at the giant door back here. Can you see this? And they've even shortened it. Dude, we are in Minnesota again. Wait a minute. I must have gotten something wrong. Minnesota, and Minnesota. Okay, 3 Minnesotas. Thought I was losing my mind. Now we move on to Chicago. Chicago. If I was inclined to sing, I would sing Frank Sinatra. This is not that kind of channel. This is a very serious channel. A very serious historical channel that looks at old post offices from the early 1900s. That's all. Nothing really to see here. Just some horses, a wooden fence around this stone, concrete and steel work of glory. This fence behind this steel pole in front of this post office that I know through this research was demolished. Why? Well, anyway, here we are. Let us appreciate her. Up here, they must have used this portion to bring in special deliveries via pigeon. Unbelievable structure. Probably one of the best. I would place this one next to the Palace of Justice in Brussels. Nonetheless, the same people. The same greatness. How do you even demolish something like this? Why? Why? Sorry. Anyway, post office. These people are waiting while mail is being delivered. Maybe they're taxis. Anyway, Chicago, 1906. 1906. I would show you my post office. It's just a box. It's just a one-story cube. Probably like 1% of this building. Let's move on. Again, I just want to quickly point out the brick streets and concrete. So where are we? Again, another post office. This is a post office segment. Where is this beauty? Oh, Cinderella, are you in there? Cindy? I'm coming. Alright, we'll just wait out here. Just feed the horse a little grass. Oh, it's snowing out. There's no grass. Well, I hope she makes it quick. Day at the post office. Very, very ordinary day at the post office. Beautiful tower and a beautiful day. Where are we? This is Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Gotta mail off that cheese. Sorry, I'm sure there's a lot more notable things in Wisconsin. Like this post office, for example. Much more interesting than cheese. Anyway, I digress. Detroit, Michigan, 1900. Just a pearl, again with a tower. Very important to have the tower, again for the carrier pigeons at your post office. Michigan. Again, Michigan post office. Port Huron. Very important to have the water feature at the post office. Wash the hands. And we can see the brick streets and rail system. Here again we have a Michiganer. Michigan Castle Post Office. Let's start with the top and the tech up here, this crown. What a beauty. They've put this tattered American flag up here. And really pretty modest, looking like a little top heavy, like the top of a building. We do see windows going down, but nonetheless a splendid post office in Saginaw, Michigan. Saginaw, never been. Here's a local Saguenayese woman. Next, beautiful castle. I mean, the way they built a post office. Let's look at the tower. Again, the tower is very important. This baby looking like a European cathedral top. American post office here. Old America. See the flag, just to be certain. The claim. And where are we? Wow, look at this thing. Super cathedral. Features the 3 entryways on all sides. Where are we? This gorgeosity of a postal facility is in Buffalo, New York, 1900 to 1906. Oh, that tells me that it's probably gone. Let me know. Of course, this couldn't be. I mean, this is a narrative buster. Can't just have people going to the post office looking like this in 2025. This must go. Buffalo. Old Buffalo. And this is one of my favorites. This one is very hotel-like. We can see it in a lot of different photos with different drapings in the window. You can see here to the right, kind of frilly. These ones more cheap. And anyway, look at this thing. Look this beauty. One of my favorites again. You can probably hear the excitement in my voice. I don't know. I mean, I do and I don't. Here we are. Here's the time period. Very busy. Looks like mud over trolley tracks. We can see some brick in really rough shape. Here we go. Here's a better look. Brick. And these people. These inheritors. This bustling, beautiful, weathered city. I'm pretty sure this one is gone as well. Most of these will be. Oh, and where are we? Where the hell are we? Let me ring the bell. We are in New York. City Hall, Post Office, New York, New York. Here is your post office. I think this is a good time to look at postal system in this time period. Here we go. Christmas packages, Chicago, postal picture. So here we go. You were wondering, God, what's going on in this post office? Here you are. Here is a behind the scenes look at the organization. Now you can organize to build a building like that, but this is your method of postal organization? Look at this. Dear God, how about one more? Here we are. This man is just drowning in it. Look at the look on his face. Terrified. What do you say, guy? I don't care. Just burn it already. Unbelievable. Just a mess. These sacks. Has anything changed? There's so many more we could look at. Post office, New York City. Again, the evidence all around. The streets, the lack of people. Post office, Troy, New York. Super castle, super advanced. Brick streets again, fire hydrant. Post office, Albany, New York, 1900s. Cheap awnings popping out the windows. And look at this, just a beautiful scene here. And here's my coffee, finally. Ward, whole grocery, teas, coffee. There we go. What a mess. Next, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Post office, 1900 to 1920. All the same builders, all the same hand, all the same condition. Just a beautiful depiction for everything that we discuss. The buried buildings, solid brick streets, the rail lines, and a backwards people. And too much building for this time period. Too much for a post office. Scranton, Pennsylvania, same story, over and over. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Look at this. The beginning. Baltimore, Maryland, 1903. Maryland. Not just the building, the little obelisk in front, and the statues. Post office? Yes. Look at this up here. I mean, really, just one more level, sir? One more level for the pigeons. Boston, Massachusetts. We looked at this one earlier. Cleveland, Ohio. Toledo, Ohio. Same MO. Louisville, Kentucky. Here we go, a little Kentucky action. Mail letter and head off to the Derby. Kentucky. And look at what we get here. Again, the evidence. Again, buildings going underground. Like some old Rome. Again, not the point of the photographer's intentions. Just a little nugget for us. Next, Augusta, Georgia. Ooh, Augusta. With a tech on top here. Castle. Very beautiful. Empty street. Memphis, Tennessee. Ah, old Tennessee. Look at this. Looks like a scarab beetle right here. Anyway, Tennessee. Alabama. Alabama, brick streets down here. A stamp of inheritance, 1902. Buried level post office. Birmingham, Alabama. A lot to pick apart here. Again, all the surroundings. This cooked out building right here, windowless. And I think that's it. I think we will absolutely leave it here. I hope you've enjoyed. I love you all. God bless. And I'll see you next week.